Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Illusions Ghost. Welcome back to another Tower Defense X video, guys. Alright, and inside this video, we are back inside of Tower Defense X, obviously, okay? And inside this video, we are actually going to be going over every single tower inside of the entire game, alright? Basically going over what they do, alright, and you know, if they are good or not, guys, alright, what their rating is and everything like that. So make sure you guys all hit the like button, subscribe, and of course turn on those notifications, alright. I'm going to try to be uploading a little bit more of this game here, alright, grinding out on this game, alright. So, you know, this game is a lot of fun. If you guys have not played it, I suggest trying it out at least, okay. I also have a video about every single code inside of the game as well, so if you don't want to start off at square 0, you could start off at square 1 if you guys do want to, alright, and go and redeem those codes. They are a great head start. But without further ado, guys, let's jump straight into this video. So how this video is going to be structured is we're going to be first going over the initial towers, alright, then we're going to move on to like the higher level towers, guys, and basically what they do and everything. So basically all the gameplay inside of this game, guys, is done through these towers, alright. So you can go here and you can buy pretty much any single tower inside of here. Obviously some of them are a little bit more expensive, like this one is the 13,250, alright, and some of them also do take a long time to actually unlock. As you can see, this one is unlocked at level 225, and if we look over here at the highest rank is 192. Nobody even has this one yet, guys. This game just came out, by the way, at the time of this recording, alright? So if you're watching this, like, years in the future, like, I've had the battleship for, you know, for, like, a whole year. What are you talking about, Illusions? But, yeah, the game came out, like, a week ago, bro. Relax. So because each tower has its own unique ability, guys, that means that there is no one best tower, guys. There is better towers for different situations, and there's better towers, alright, based on what you're combining those towers with. Like, the Juggernaut and the farm go really good together because, one, the farm, you know, gives you some money, alright, and the Juggernaut's pretty dang expensive, guys. So the upgrades on this are pretty dang expensive, alright, and there's some other good combinations, guys, alright, throughout here, alright. Especially, you have to coordinate with your team. It is much easier to actually go out there and win if you guys do have a set plan, and each of you guys have your own unique little towers that you guys can all deploy. So let's look at these towers, guys. Also, just to mention, each tower do have their own unique upgrades as well. So after you place down a tower, alright, and start using them, basically what will happen, guys, is these towers will have their own upgrades. So I'm pretty sure that the upgrades for the Ranger, which is the first tower that you actually get, once you start up the game, you automatically get this tower, guys. Basically, I think is damage and reload time. I think those are the two upgrades. All right, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you know, it's, you know, the worst tower inside of the game. But a backbone of the GDA. This is a free tower to help you in your journey, armed with an LMG and tosses grenades. So if you upgrade it enough, I believe it'll start tossing grenades. But basically, this is kind of just the first tower. It is the base thing that you actually have. Again, it is the backbone of the GDA. So this, once you start off the game, this is probably what you're going to be using, alright? This and the shotgunner, alright? Decimate hordes with his shotguns, powerful enough to punch through armor. So this is important to note, guys, that some of these guys actually do have unique abilities, and those unique abilities are, you know, either they could be splash damage or they'll be a single target tower, guys, alright? Also, furthermore, some towers actually do target like invisible or camouflaged enemies, guys. So that is very important to actually note as well. If you have no towers that can actually see camouflaged enemies, then those camouflaged enemies are basically just gonna eat you up, alright? They are going to absolutely destroy you. Furthermore, some of these other ones do have some different designations. Some of them are just straight up support, some of them are monetary, some of them are just normal attack, and some of them are splash. So if we look over here, we can see that this one is a support one. The EDJ is support tower, says it right there. Support tower that buffs your towers with fire rate, range, and discounts. So this one is super, super cool. All right, as you can see, you know, she's just bumping music right there. All right, this one is a monetary one. All right, calls in a C-130 every wave, dropping off cash crates or health crates, guys. So basically, this will actually drop you either health, and health basically will allow you to stay longer, allow you to take more hits, guys. All right, or it'll drop cash. This cash could be used to either buy more towers, all right, or it could be used to upgrade your towers, guys. But anyway, let's move back to the operator. Armed with better equipment, guns, and an ability to call in a Humvee for support. So this tower is actually classified as a land-ranged summoner, guys, because it can actually call in the Humvee. That is why it's a summoner, all right? So that ability is super, super cool, all right? Not only that, it is also a ranged one, so it has, you know, quite a bit of range to it, guys, and it is a land, all right? A land item. So, you know, of course, it's called a land one because we also have some sea ones or ocean ones, okay, as here with the patrol boat or here with the warship, guys. All right, so also, again, the range is pretty dang good, okay, so just keep that in mind as well. Then we also have the mine layer. So obviously this guy's just going to be throwing down mines, okay, and when the enemies actually go over them, the mines go kaplooey. So this is a splash damage tower, guys, all right, and another land and ranged tower, guys. So there's not much to say about this guy. As you can see, his reload time is very, very long, okay? I believe that you can actually go and get this better once you actually start upgrading him. Also, the damage will increase as well because as the rounds actually go, guys, as the waves come, okay, your enemies are going to get stronger and stronger and faster, okay? So you got to keep that in mind. You're going to have to, you know, be upgrading that damage or else your towers are going to absolutely do nothing, guys. Moving on, we got the Cryo Blaster. Deals no damage with his splash, but can freeze enemies solid. So of course it says that, you know, it deals no damage. However, that is not entirely true. If you actually upgrade its bottom path, it will start to deal damage to, once you get that bottom path to level 2, it'll start to deal damage there. All right, this is a must-have for expert or higher modes, guys. So, you know, you're gonna want to get this one, okay? Basically what it does is it freezes enemies solid, so it just slows them down, guys. It just starts slowing them down, and again, it can start dealing damage once you start upgrading him, okay? But yeah, it is a must have, guys. You guys are definitely going to want somebody in your squad to have the Cryo Blaster. Next, we have the Sniper. This is actually the first tower that you actually need to get to a certain level to actually unlock. Obviously, I'm not at level 15, and I'm definitely not going to spend the 350 Robux. I'm just going to grind instead. All right, so Precision Shooter, able to pierce through multiple zombies. So if you guys have ever played Bloons Tower Defense, this is very, very close to the Sniper Monkey, all right, inside of that game. As you can see, it does quite a bit of damage, all right, 8 whole damage, and then plus not only that, it goes through multiple zombies, so it'll, you know, not just hit one target, it'll hit multiple targets, so it's kind of like a splash, all right, but not quite like a splash, you know. So far, this is the most damage a tower actually does so far inside the rankings. If we look, this one does 1, this one does 4, this one does 1.5, this one does 20, all right, however, the reload time is 25 seconds, and you know that's very, very long. The reload time for this one is pretty long. However, again, it does do 8 damage, and it does go through a lot. The range is 18, guys, so this is absolutely insane. It can see basically all over the map. If we look at all these other ones, you know, the range really does not compete. All right, 18 is by far the furthest range of anything. So this tower is actually best used if it is actually on a cliff to actually exemplify its high range, guys. That is basically the whole purpose of this. It's a great early game tower, guys. However, in the later games, it does not, you know, really keep up with all of the different things. Once you get into the higher rounds, you're gonna want to, you know, get the Juggernaut. You're gonna want to, you know, get some of this stuff, guys. So those higher waves, guys, you're definitely gonna want to expand. However, when you actually do upgrade the Sniper, all right, you can actually start getting some armor penetration and stuff like that. So early game, you know, even into mid-game, guys, this is a great tower to actually use. Moving on, we have the Missile Trooper. Explosives, guys, ignoring armor, dealing splash, and having great range. So if we actually take a look at his range, guys, we can see that it is 16. It is almost the same as the sniper, guys, at 18, and also it does 40 whole damage. Way more. All right, and not only that, it also has a splash damage effect, meaning that it'll basically hit all of the enemies around this single enemy. So this is a great troop. All right, as you can see, it is pretty expensive. So mid to later game, guys, this is what you're gonna want, especially if you guys do not quite have, you know, some of the you know, the later towers, guys. All right, this is especially good for beginners to the game. All right, so I would definitely suggest trying to get this guy. All right, very good. Again, he ignores their armor, so especially when it's combined with the cryo blaster, guys, because if you could slow down the enemies so they all get clustered up into one big group, guys, and then you can have the Missile Trooper absolutely just decimate that huge group, guys, because, you know, again, the fire rate is not very fast. The reload time is almost 8 seconds, guys, which, you know, it might not seem like very long, but once you're actually in there in the heat of battle, it actually is a long time, guys. So if you could get one huge group and really maximize each missile shot, guys, that is what you want to do. Moving on, we have the patrol boat. Placed near water on land, using its turrets or flamethrower for big damage, guys. If we look right here, it says the damage is 3. However, the reload time is just 0.4 seconds, guys. This thing has a very fast fire rate. However, it is also kind of expensive. One other downfall of this is it has to be placed near water, all right, or near land on water, I mean. That's what I meant. Okay, so it is a water thing. Only some maps have water, all right. I believe not every single map has water inside of it, so you have to keep that in mind, all right. You have to keep in mind what map you're actually using, all right, what map you are actually going to be you know, playing on before you actually pick your towers, all right. I can't say definitively, you know, every single tower, all right. You know, if I made a video, all right, the best towers for every single map, that video would be an hour long, guys. It would be way too long. But I'm basically just, you know, saying what it is. Like Apocalypse, I've never really played this map, all right, but it looks like there's no water there, all right. So if you're playing on Apocalypse, don't pick a water tower, guys. That is not going to do you any good, okay? You're going to want to have only the towers that are going to work for you on a particular map, and you need to make sure that you plan out what map you're going to play before you actually pick your towers. I already kind of went over this one, the farm. It calls in a C-130 every wave, dropping off cash crates or health. Again, this is like a support, a monetary support one, or I guess also a health support, okay? You can see that cash per wave is 100, and it costs 525. So a lot of the times what I see inside of strategies, guys, is I see that some people would go and focus on placing down their towers, all right, to defend their base, all right. However, if you have a squad of 4 people, guys, and 3 people place down their towers to defend, while one person is over there placing down farms, all right, and trying to rack up that money early game, guys, that could be very beneficial, all right. So then one player could have a massive amount of money early game to actually afford some of the more expensive towers, like the Juggernaut or something like that, guys. However, moving on, we got the EDJ, all right, support towers that buffs your towers with fire rate, all right, range, and discounts, okay. So you can actually, if you combine this guy, all right, with, you know, some of these other ones, guys, it'll actually benefit hugely, all right. Again, this is like more of a late game sort of tower, all right, because it's just for support, okay. So if you actually combine this with this, that'll, you know, make the fire rate and the range. So the range on this is already crazy, and the fire rate is very slow. So actually combining this in, you know, making the fire rate better will just make this a hugely better kit, all right. Because this tower is so slow, that is basically the main downfall of it, all right. However, if you actually combine it with this, guys, then it actually becomes much, much better because it can shoot much, much faster, alright, and further, matter of fact, okay? The only problem is, again, it is very, very expensive. 2,450. That is, again, why it is actually a late game, alright? Because, you know, you're not going to be saving up 2,450 just for basically nothing, guys, alright? So, yeah. Alright, moving on, we got John. Alright, John is actually the name of the developer, okay? So that's why his name is John. So armed with personal weapons, alright, he can also buff damage of nearby towers. So there's really nothing special about this tower, guys, alright? It is very, very similar to, like, say, the Ranger, okay? But if we do look at his damage, it says he does 3 damage every 1.1 seconds, alright? And also he has a pretty good range, and he only costs 300, guys. So early game, this guy is pretty dang good. He actually does a lot of damage, alright, for his price, okay? So, you know, it's just overall, you know, a pretty good tower. All right, there's not much to actually go over about this guy. But anyway, let's move on to the laser gunner. All right, basically this guy has a high tech starts him off with stealth detection and armor penetration. Of course, you do have to be level 25 to actually go and unlock this guy, but if we take a look at his damage, we see that he does 4 damage every 0.7 seconds. Again, this is a lot of damage, all right. He is a little bit more expensive, however, he does have stealth detection and armor penetration, so he'll go straight through their armor, guys. This is an overall pretty dang good kit. Also, his upgrades are pretty dang good. So, you know, I would suggest grinding for him, or, you know, spending the 1,000 Robux if you got it. All right, but or if you don't have that, just grind for him, guys. Okay, moving on, we got the artillery. This is the long-range bombardment. Select your target and fire. This guy does an enormous amount of damage. Look at this. So damage is 65 and the splash radius is 4. So again, this would be great, especially if it's placed, if you place the target around the cryo blaster, guys, because then I'll actually create some big groups of zombies, and then this can actually go and completely destroy them, guys. All right, moving on, we got the Juggernaut. I don't really need to say too much about this. Armed with a minigun, this tower will surely mow down bosses. I don't really have to say much. 8 damage per 0.1 second and 15% range. The only problem is it is very expensive to actually buy. 6,350 to actually buy this thing. Super expensive. However, one of the best towers inside of the entire game. Basically can be used for any situation, guys. And honestly, again, it's the best, guys. I don't know what else to say, okay? Just once you can get it, all right? Moving on, we got the Warship. This is the final one. Heavy naval support. Place this tower outside the map on water and enjoy the show. So it doesn't even say what it does. All right, personally, I don't really know what it does. So basically what this actually is doing, guys, all right, is it's out of reach of ordinary players. It is said that this is actually going to continue to increase, so normal players can not actually reach level 225 or be able to get this. So it is basically only obtainable to admins, all right, until it actually gets, you know, balanced inside the game. At the moment, it is way too OP for ordinary players to actually go and get this item, okay? It is said that basically once you place this thing down, all right, it's, you know, starts off real slow, but as you start to upgrade it, guys, it's huge, all right? It gets huge, and it starts dealing massive amounts of damage. Again, not much is known about this because nobody really has this except the admins, guys, so there's really not much I can say about it, except once this thing comes to the game, all right, once it's actually, you know, redeemable for basically normal players inside of the game, it is going to be crazy. But anyway, guys, that is all the towers that I actually have for you. I hope you guys all did enjoy. Like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. And I hope to see you guys all side on the next video. Love you guys all. Peace out. And of course, goodbye.